Okay, so real basic, we're going to do the Upa Escape from mount. So this works well with the elbow escape that we did earlier. Basically when you go for an Upa, people will open their legs to try and stop it. That sets you up for the elbow escape. And I'll just show that at the end. Okay, but your basic Upa. So from here, make sure you get your defence right, your elbows are down, because what I don't want is I don't want Laurie getting right underneath the armpits. Then when I bridge, he's on the chest hardly moves off the floor. I want him down here on the belly, because the belly is going to move quite a bit off the floor and it's going to throw his weight forward. So from here, okay, elbows come down, I'm keeping Laurie where he is, plus I'm guarding my own neck, okay? So I want his arms on the floor. I can hit it if he starts going for a collar, I can start running an Upa, that sort of thing. But from here, the basic one, I'm just going to bridge, make him put his hands down. Now your basic Upa, I'm going to clasp the hands like that momentarily. Not a position that we want to hang out for obvious reasons, he'll hit an Americana, but I can momentarily just lift the hands off to there and pull them to the centre of the chest. So I've pulled the hands to there. Now what I've got to make sure is that I'm isolating one side of Laurie's body, just like we did with the scissor sweep. Works on exactly the same principles. Take away his arm, take away his legs so he can't post with them, take his weight and then rock him off to the side. Okay? So from here I need to get the hands right. The hand that is going to pin him to the chest, it's the same arm. So if I've got Laurie's left arm, use my left arm. And notice the way I'm pinning, okay? I'll wrap the fingers right across the top to there. If I do that and I shove the thumb underneath, that gap there, that you can see between the finger and the thumb, that's his escape. I can't allow that. So that's how I hold him with Upa, okay? This hand is going to open up and I'm going to hold him between the fingers and the thumb on the back of the elbow. Now again, that's not good enough. What I've done is I've created space for him to get right underneath the armpits, okay? So from here, I need to bring the elbow inside so he can't do that. What that also does is I know where his leg is now. Now I can't just take his weight and roll him off to the side because he just posts with his leg. So, yeah, exactly. So I need to slide the foot up to the backside. Now that takes his leg out of the game, so he can't post with that leg, he can't post with this arm. Of course he can post with his head, but the problem with posting with his head is once he's got his head down, that's the only position he can post in and I can roll him around it. Okay? So from here, the next bit I've got to do is I've got to break his balance. If I try and roll him now or I try and shortcut this, I'm carrying his whole weight. So I just explode the hips up in the air and I throw his weight forward. And that's where I want him. Okay? Now Laurie's got no weight on him at all. From here, without putting the hips down, I'm going to roll him over the left shoulder and make sure that you fix your guard. Okay? Now that bit, just without Laurie there, what I'm doing is I isolate an arm, isolate the leg, and then I bridge, okay? And then I roll that way, so it's a hip iced over, okay? What a lot of people do wrong with Upa is they do two things wrong. First of all, they'll try and do something which is halfway between a bridge and a roll, so they don't bridge and then roll. What they do is they do that, okay? His weight's still on me, it feels like a ton weight. The other mistake people make is the bridge, they take the person's weight, and then they put the hips down, and they try and roll. And what happens is when you put the hips down, he gets his base back, okay? So it's bridge, now call it roll, but it's actually a hip heist over, so again, we're worried. So a real basic version of Upa this is, okay? I'm going to make him put his hands down. In reality, if he does that, I keep the hips up in the air and I'm going to wrap his arm, but we'll worry about that in a later version, okay? Starting from this position here, hands together, okay? Gable grip, so no thumbs. Pull the elbow into the middle, fingers and thumb, and what we call a monkey grip, okay? Hand on the back of his elbow, and tuck that elbow in. I need to know where his foot is, but the other thing I need to do as well is make sure he doesn't get underneath my armpit at that point. Slide the foot right up your own backside, so I've trapped Laurie's foot, okay? So when I bridge, and then I start the roll, he's got nothing to post with other than his head. And like I say, his head shouldn't be enough to stop that. So I'll just do one more quickly and I'll show you the transition to elbow escape very quickly. So from here, get his arms down, bang, into there, okay? Now what happens when you start going for an Upa, chances are, from here, I'm going to start going for it. As I go to roll, he opens up his legs. That's your elbow escape, okay? So that's when I transition to that elbow escape. So just be aware of that with Upa. Don't try and hit an Upa where his legs is wide, his base is wide. That's when you transition to your elbow escape, as we've done in an earlier movie.